After visiting the Modern Museum of Art in San Francisco, my partner Tom and I stumbled upon the marvelous art pieces of Andy Warhol. The first piece we are going to look at is the Triple Elvis, which features the king of rock and roll, Elvis Presley. The high value of this painting in particular can be attributed to the painting's large dimensions, Warhol's rare use of painting on canvas, and of course the magnificent star power of the painting's subject and author. In Warhol's book, The Philosophy of Andy Warhol, From A to B and Back Again, he says that Elvis Presley was one of Warhol's earliest subjects, one in which he revisited several times throughout his career. In 1963, Warhol developed a 22-piece series called Elvis for a solo show at the Ferris Gallery in Los Angeles, California. Just previously, in 1962, after experimenting with hand-painting techniques, he adopted screen printing, a method of photomechanical reproduction, as his primary medium. The image used was one taken from a publicity still from the 1960s film Flaming Star. In this photo, Elvis Presley is dressed as a cowboy with a gun drawn, rather than the usual guitar in his hand, revealing Warhol's intent to depict Elvis as an actor rather than to portray him as a musician. The distinct choice to have a black image on a silver long strip could possibly be mimicking a film strip or the silver screen. Once all the images had been printed, he shipped the whole canvas along with a few different size stretcher bars to Irving Blum in Los Angeles, who cut the canvas and matched the images to the appropriate stretcher bars. His only request be that the pieces would be placed directly next to each other, continuing with his repetitive style that had become his trademark.
The next piece of art we are looking at is titled Tuna Fish Disaster and is by the 20th century artist Andy Warhol. This piece of art was done in 1963, and the median of this artwork is silver and paint and silkscreen on linen. The essence of the piece, Tuna Fish Disaster, shows reproduced photographs from a popular Newsweek article in 1963 that Andy Warhol found interest in. The article stated that 2 suburban housewives had been poisoned and died from eating tainted cans of tuna. Now, this piece of artwork was among a collection of artwork that Warhol described as his Death and Disaster series, which addressed multiple topics of everyday disasters in society, such as car crashes, and the electric chair, and others during the 1960s. As art historian Gene Swanson states in his article titled Death and Disasters, Appropriating and Manipulating News and Imagery, he says, it makes the point as to how harmless consumerism can lead to accidental death, and Warhol explored this belief and tragic frame bestowed on people after death and unexpected termination of life. Andy Warhol was thus concerned with conveying the tragic and frequent events in society as posed by new media, and as Gene Swanson again states, Warhol used the repetition of images to mirror the repetition of it in society through media and technology, as displayed by the repetitive tuna cans. This can also be found in statements made by Andy Warhol himself, where he states that no one can escape the media. It is a very powerful weapon. Overall, and therefore, Andy Warhol was explicitly making a statement through this piece of art as to the state of the growing society around him. In his book titled Andy Warhol, Harry J. Eisenman remarks on the significance of this piece of art and others included in the Death and Disaster series when he states, his many paintings and sculptures reflect the commercialization, the affluence and materialism of post-war American society, serving as both legitimate works of art and as artifacts of an era in the development of the United States as a consumerist nation. In regards to the medium and composition of the artwork, Harry Heisenman also reflects that Warhol's silkscreen technique of reproducing the images on canvases further linked his work to the mechanical, technological world in which he and his viewers lived, and in which we live today. Overall, Warhol's made great pieces of artwork and thus created the origin of what is today known as pop art, where he could express realities of the new technology and media around us and conveyed meaning through his artwork. The piece of artwork is currently now at the Museum of Modern Art in San Francisco, where it is available to all audiences to see it.